And that I hadn't heard Ken Nordine until I started to work with Hal Wilner on records of Burroughs and on spoken word records, that I heard Ken Nordine. And he's great, but he was no influence because I knew not of him making this.
We have two questions. There's you, sir, there in the green shirt, and then you. Yes.
Well, I agree with that gentleman back there. It's an amazing piece of work, really amazing. But you said that you set out to be angry and attack the audience in some way, but you found that they laughed. But really great comedy and satire is very angry. It's extremely angry. And I think if you made that, I don't know if it's possible to make it any angrier than you did, but if you could, people would laugh even more. I mean, you got to the point of pure comedy.
Yeah, could you talk about that?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I really like to please people, not hurt them and break their legs. So, I mean, I would like to be more, I would like to communicate in a more loving way, a caring way to the audience.
Well, it's working. If that's what you're trying to say.
Somebody slipping on a banana is very angry.
Huh?
Somebody slipping on a banana is very angry.
Funny, but it's angry.
Yeah, I mean, the basis of comedy is violence. I mean, without violence, you got no comedy. People fall downstairs and Chevy Chase falls and banana peel. I mean, these are archetypes. Violence is an archetype.
But one thing that's true of this film is that in violence, like when Chevy Chase falls down the stairs, he doesn't break anything. You know?
No.
And here, these two people, both the pig-faced guy and the girl with the cupid voice, they feel indestructible. As perilous as the universe is around them, they seem kind of indestructible and they don't feel sorry for themselves. And that, I think, probably arouses people to enjoy it as a comedy.
Oh, thank you.
There's this fellow over here in the corner who's been waiting patiently. Your question, sir.
Your monologues remind me a little of Terry Southern's. I was wondering.
Yes. One thing was a lift from Terry Southern. Terry was one of my best friends. We worked together on Saturday Night Live. We worked together on various projects. But I didn't know him. I had just read Red Dirt Marijuana, and there's a story in Red Dirt Marijuana, which is hilarious, about astronauts who freaked out in orbit, in the weightless chamber. And all kinds of madness and campiness went on in the story. And I said, well, that's really, that's really interesting. So that story stayed with me. And that was, there's a direct reference to the story in the movie.
Your attitude is very Guy Graham. Sounds like you were definitely trying to make things hot for people.
What could you...
He said your attitude is very Guy Grant.
It was a Guy Grant idea. You were trying to make...
Oh, a Grand Guy Grand. No, it wasn't Grand Guy Grand, this story.
No, he's saying that the spirit of the film is like Guy Grant trying to make things hot for people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wanted to make things hot for the audience.
Yeah.
That was my intention. That's the Grand Guy Grand impulse.
Okay, there's a question right up there. Yes, yours, sir. You. Yeah.
Question, comment. Comment is, when I compliment you on the poster, it took me about an hour to realize what's going on there.
Took you an hour? You're sharp as a whip.
Looks like
That's
the same
fantastic.
a baby pig.
By your animation, I just think that...
Oh, thank you. No, I was proud of that poster. That was an award-winning poster where you were trying to think of what image could work. And I just had this image like, wow, look what you can make with a telephone. And Merv went with it. And it was done.
Is the film available on DVD? Can it be purchased? Or is it...
It's available in Europe right now. And in the lobby of this theater. It's not formatted for U.S. Machines yet. The picture is in release in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland right now. It's opening in England in February, and we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll get to the United States again.
Okay, I just want to give the folks up in the balcony, I may have been neglecting you accidentally. If there's somebody with a question up there, wave both your arms. Okay, there you go, sir, your question.
What format did we just watch it in? What prints remain?
Well, this is in PAL. This theater is equipped to play all kinds of formats. We were hoping tonight to have a print. We discovered that there's a print at UCLA in their film department archives, but it wasn't ready to use and it wasn't clean enough. So we went with the DVD, and I thought the DVD looked pretty good on the big screen.
Sure did. In the back row, there's another question, and then I'll get to your question, the two-hander. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I could understand why Groucho, for example, would not respond. I think Groucho, Woody Allen, they were people pleasers. And even though their comedy had a certain bite,
Yeah.
they didn't want to lose their audience. Your movie, I don't think you gave a shit whether you were going to lose your audience. You did your art. You did your thing as a work of art. And I think that's what sets it apart.
Well, that's not true. I gave a shit.
As a matter of fact, Groucho, after we really got along, really hit it off, despite the fact he didn't laugh once or giggle or smile, and watching the movie, and we went across to Musso's, and Musso's was still open, and he bought me a bunch of drinks, and we began our conversation, and he was laughing more at our dialogue than he was at the film. And he was really, we hit it off, we sparked it off, had the same sense of humor. And he said that the film reminded him, and that I reminded him, of that artist guy that Harpo used to hang around with. And knowing and being a big fan of the Marx Brothers, I know only one artist that Harpo used to hang around with, who was Salvador Dali. So I said, Dali? He said, that's it. That's who you remind me of. That's what this film is. So much for the Groucho. But he was wonderful.
The fellow who's waving two hands there. Yeah, your question.
Norman Rose was just brilliant as all at the end. When we finally meet him, I got the feeling that the part was written just for him. I mean, did you know him already? Did you find him? Did you audition him?
Well, I knew him for years because I had another business. I had a day job while I was doing this, and I did commercials and trailers for the movies, and he had the reputation. He was known as the voice of God, I think, and this great, rich, masculine baritone, and I knew that he was absolutely the right voice. And he jumped at the opportunity of being in this film because he made just a few. He did some theater, but he didn't do too many films, and he didn't object to the fact that he had to wear a pig mask.
And I thought it was really touching, as I said to you, FX. He was really touching when I looked at it this time.
Yeah.
Vulnerability.
Just to finish with that, were you aware that Kubrick stole your pig mask for The Shining?
I was aware of the pig mask similarity.
It's dead on.
Yeah, I was aware of that, and I'd love to say he did. I was told that, and somebody wrote that Bertolucci was very influenced by the telephone book. No, I have no evidence of that.